Hey guys, it's your main man Action, bringing guys some more Digimon Adventure for the PSP. In the last part, we did episode number 50, and today we are starting the new, the final arc in the game. So we're gonna start off with episode number 51, a Digimon who trains Hackmon, and this arc has like next to no dialogue. So it gives me a chance to talk for the first time. Yay, after like many times that there have been dialogues, I finally get to talk. But it's at this point where the game pretty much its story differs from what happened in the anime. This is completely different from what happened in the anime. Actually, it never happened in the anime, to be honest, at all. Right now, Agumon and Taichi find themselves in a digital dungeon, and in that digital dungeon, here comes Hackmon, and Hackmon wants to fight wants to fight Agumon, and he wants to be the strongest. And then Taichi's like, nah, no, don't fight, and all that. But Hackmon, let's talk about him. Hackmon is a mini Digimon, Dragon Digimon, whose name is derived from computer hacking. Its fur shines a cool white. Its unfettered and restrained, hating, adventure-loving way of life is probably due to its Gunkumon's data. It chases after Gunkumon and faces the rigorous trials it imposes with an air of composure. It has a masterful sense of combat due to its lineage. It specializes in close combat that capitalizes on its keenness. It follows its dreams of becoming a royal knight like Gunkumon as it fights through continuous battles. So, what is going on right now is, again, not part of the story, but a completely different part. This is around the part where you're going to be at least level 80 plus, because a lot of the boss battles coming up later on are very difficult. This is the last arc in the entire game, so you're going to be wanting to go 100%. So right there, I cut out a bit of the digital dungeon because the digital dungeons are very boring to look at. So I decided to cut it out because they're pretty simple to go through. If you've been heeding my advice during this entire let's play, you would have already encountered many digital dungeons when you're out there grinding for some levels or getting some items. So you should already be familiar with how the digital dungeons work. But for those who haven't been caring for some weird reason, this is how the dungeon works. Basically, it's a massive room with it's a 3x3 kind of cube with 4x4 cube rooms, and in those rooms you're going to be facing off against different kind of Digimon. They're going to be high leveled, but they can give you materials for different kind of items, and they can also give you experience, which makes the digital dungeons very useful for grinding. The exits, how it works is that you come up through a purple portal, and you walk through the you walk past the portal, and in any of the four corners of the area there will be an exit which allows you to go to the it'll be an orange exit, and it will take you to the further levels of the digital dungeon. They're usually in the four corners. What my simple consensus is that I always go straight and then turn left or turn right. It'll either be at the end of one corridor or the end of other, and it's very fast and it's very easy to get past. So the simple, well, I should say, what's going on here is we meet Daichi, and Daichi, or Davis, or whatever his name is, or not Daichi, Daisuke, or Davis, as he's known in the English version. He is the protagonist of Adventure 2, of Digimon Adventure 2, which is the second season of Digimon, and is a big continuation from the original Digimon Adventure series. So for this episode, what you're going to be doing, actually for this episode and for the rest of the episodes coming up, you're going to be teaming up with one of the protagonists from the different kind of Digimon series, spin-off series that have been. So we got Daisuke here, and his partner is Vmon. And you're not going to be with Vmon, you're going to be with Vmon's Mega Evolution, wow. I meant like Mega Form Magnamon, and you get Magnamon from digivolving Vmon with the Digi Egg of Miracles. And right now we have a boss battle against a copy of Magnamon, and that is the person that we're gonna have to face off right now. So yeah, for the entirety of that episode, you're gonna be with Daichi and with Magnamon as your help, But let's go into more about Magnamon. So Magnamon is a Holy Light Digimon whose name is derived from Magna, which is Latin for great. A member of the Miracle Four and one of the Royal Knights. Its armor digivolved through the power of Digi Egg of Miracles. It has the metal ability. It has the metal attribute of Digi Egg, made of the special Super Metal Chrome Digizoid. It possesses tremendous defensive ability, but also has offensive power equivalent to that of a Mega Digimon or even greater. No matter what kind of predicament those who acquire the power of the Digi Egg of Miracles fall into, they are able to overcome it through that miraculous power. And due to that, it's definitely appropriate to call it a miracle item. And its attacks are Plasma Shoot, Extreme Jihad, and Light Aura Barrier. Plasma Shoot is going to be its main source of attack. On top of that, there will be Extreme Jihad, which does damage to multiple Digimon at once. Your Magnamon that you have on your side of the field isn't that great, to be honest. It does not do that much damage. Its other attack, Light Aura Barrier, which is basically a supercharge, but not only does it supercharge one person, it supercharges the entire team. So that's very useful. On top of that, your partners will also have a Mega Heal ability, which allows them to heal you up by 2000 HP points. The only problem I have with these guys is that you can't control what they do. The AI can get ridiculously stupid and not heal until it's like the last second. Like right here, I really have no idea why it doesn't heal himself, even though he's clearly in the dangerous amount of levels. So what I'd recommend for this fight, if you're halfway through the fight and your friend, your team member is dead, I recommend reviving them using a lifesaver kit, because it's very useful to have them on your team, because doing this by yourself is definitely difficult. Magnamon C, the copy of Magnamon that we're facing off here, gives me a lot of trouble, so it definitely helped me to bring back Magnamon from the dead there. On top of that, the Magnamon C, the Magnamon that we're facing off against right now, has the ability Ultra Counter. And Ultra Counter is very dangerous because it not only does it do damage to you every time you hit it, it can break you. And break is a status which slows you down. What makes this even more annoying is by now you should have equipped Wargreymon with continuous attack, with I forget what it's called, ×2 attack, ×2 action, which is the digipiece you got much earlier and I've been using for a while now. If you get broken while you're attacking and you get broken in your first attack, you will not be able to attack again. which makes it even more of a problem. Definitely what's going to be your greatest friend is equipping him with supercharge and equipping him with as many attack boosts as possible. Continuous action helps because you're not always going to be broken by ultra counter. It's only like to me it was like more like 75% of the time. So there is a chance that you will not get broken and you'll be able to attack again. So it's very useful that you do as much damage to Magnamon as you can. This Magnamon does a lot of damage to you. On top of that, it has the same abilities as our Magnamon has. So it has Light Aura Barrier, which allows it to increase its defense and attack by 2 stages, making the damage it does to you vary a lot. It just does a lot of damage to you. On top of that, it can get really annoying, like super annoying, this battle, because this guy, he has Plasma Shoot that can shock you as well, which makes it even more annoying. So yeah, Magnamon C, definitely one dangerous Digimon, but if you have enough items, you should be able to deal with him like I have. By now, I had like about 10 meat and 10 special meat around that kind of range. So even if I didn't need to heal, like it was okay. Luckily, the AI isn't so bad. It's not horrible AI, and you know, it knows when to heal you. If the AI, I feel concentrates on letting you live more than letting itself live, which is kind of a bad thing because I can handle myself and I'm level 99, and so I'm fine. But definitely the biggest thing that the AI does is that it definitely concentrates on you, because if Greymon dies in this battle, it's pretty much game over. You can't win it. It's just you can't win it, so you're sent back to the save point. So yeah, oh man, I have to talk a lot there, but let's calmly talk about Digimon Adventure 2, because it gives me a chance to give my opinions on, well, what I like about this arc is that it gives me a chance to give my opinions about the rest of the Digimon series, because there's more. I mean, if you were like me and you grew up with the original series, you were shocked to see more, and I was really happy that there was more. Digimon Adventure 2 is alright. Daisuke as a main character is pretty much like Tai. He has almost the same attitude. He has the same kind of personality. So it isn't that much of a difference between him and Taichi. But it wasn't as well received by a lot of people, and I understand why. I guess to really put it in any kind of sense, I guess the greatest, if you want to know people's opinions about Digimon Adventure 2, watch Heizu Ataku's review of it, because she has done, I think, like, she did the original Digimon series, and then she did Adventure 2, and then she did Tamers, but she didn't finish Tamers for some reason. And then she says she's gonna do Frontier. I'm like, what? Yeah, alright. But yeah, Digimon Adventure was alright. It wasn't that great, but compared to the original series, I mean, I like the original series a lot. Not just because of nostalgia reasons, but because it does a lot of great things. Digimon Adventure 2 continues the trend and introduced like Digi-Eggs and DNA evolution and all that stuff. But yeah, and also like all the new characters, and you get to see like the old characters again, because it is a continuation. So you get to see the old characters again, and they're grown up and stuff, and there's like relationships and shit. But yeah, for that episode, you're pretty much left by yourself after that episode. But don't worry, because we're meeting another protagonist in the next level of the digital dungeon. Yay. And yeah, so Digimon Adventure to me it was alright, but it wasn't that great. But here is a new character. Here's Staccato and here's Digimon Gilmon. Staccato is the main character of Digimon Tamers, which is a lot of people their favorite, and a lot of people say it's the best one. I kind of tend to agree with them, but I like Digimon Cross Wars a bit more than I like Digimon Tamers. But for this episode, you're going to be with Staccato and his Digimon Gilmon, and his Digimon instead. His mega level will be Gallantmon or Dukemon if you are Japanese, whatever. But Staccato is interesting. Staccato and Gilmon, they're like brothers. Like Gilmon is, I was shocked to hear that Gilmon was voiced by Steve Bloom. Man, that was shocking. That was a shocker. Steve Bloom is the voice actor who does Spike Spiegel in Cowboy Bebop, and if you watch Cowboy Bebop, it's one of the best anime ever. You have to watch it, man. It's like the best shit ever. But anyway, back to the game, back to Digimon. Here we got Gallantmon. You get Gallantmon. Staccato basically he biomerges he biomerges. Biomerges is when you like the tamer and the Digimon kind of like fuse. It's kind of weird. You have to watch it for yourself. It's very weird. But Gallantmon, let's talk about Gallantmon. Gallantmon is an exalted knight Digimon whose Japanese name is derived from Duke and whose English name is derived from Gallant. One of the royal knights, it is containing contradictions as it is a virus attribute while also being a guardian deity of the net. If its stability collapses, even due to a freak chance, it is possible for it to become a dangerous existence. It pilots the flying dragon machine Granny as a dragon knight that races all across the skies. It is clad in holy armor, refined and constructed from 99.9% pure chrome digitoid. It honors chivalry and is a loyal vessel towards its lords. Its attacks are Royal Saber and Final Epsilon. So, it also has, of course, Giga Heal, and that's pretty much it from Gallantmon. The Gallantmon you're facing off in this battle is pretty much like before, like the Magnamon that we fought before. It has break, but I found this battle a lot more easier than I found the Magnamon battle. That's because Gallantmon this one does a lot of damage, which is kind of weird. Gallantmon does a lot of damage. He's easily the highest attacking. No, I wouldn't say he's the easy. Like he has a lot of defense, but he does a lot of damage to you. He heals you pretty well, and he also like he hits this Gallantmon like a lot of damage. So I find him very useful on your team, but you know you'll see later on like he's not that great. But Gallantmon is easily like one of the easiest ones I've fought up against. What makes him even more annoying is that he can boost his defense, which is kind of gay. But Digimon Tamers, a lot of people say it's the best one, and a lot of people say it's the best one because of how dark it is. It was directed by the same guy who did Serial Experiments Lain, and if you watch Serial Experiments Lain, you know how much of a fucked up show that is. I mean, it is fucked up. Trust me. I haven't watched it myself, but I've heard from a lot of people it is one of the most messed up shows. It literally is. But it's not bad. It's just like it deals with a lot of dark concepts. So for the writer and the director to come over here and write for a kid show, it's kind of weird. And his writing style and the dark tone of his writing kind of comes into the show. And it can honestly it adds to the show's kind of rewatchability for me, and it just makes it accessible to not just Digimon fans, not just kids, but also adults who just wish to watch a show, you know. Digimon Tamers was interesting. It dealt with a lot of different concepts, and it did them pretty well. It was written pretty greatly, and I'd say it definitely deserves all the praise it gets from its fans. Takada himself, he's a very it's very like the relation. I like the relationship he has with Gilmon because it's kind of like a brother. It's kind of like a brotherly kind of relationship they have. Like Gilmon, I like his like development because Gilmon starts off. He's like a child. He starts off like not talking. He can only say a few words. Then he starts stringing sentences together, and then like he starts like talking fully. And it's kind of like this growth between both of them, and it's shown in the show pretty well. So Digimon Tamers is definitely a show that I would recommend to a lot of people. Yeah, I guess I could talk about other characters, but I completely forgot about them, so I'm not gonna bother. Yay! So yeah, this boss battle isn't as difficult as the last one because Galopmon doesn't have a lot of attacks that can boost his defensive power. So you're gonna be doing a lot of damage to him, regardless. And like War Greymon hardly takes any damage from this battle. I mean, I leave this battle like easily in the 9,000 range. That's how powerful. That's just how easy this boss battle was for me. I don't know what it would be like for you guys, considering if you didn't cheat, but it's at this point where I recommend you be at level 80 plus or level 99. But here we get Defense Charge Omega Wizard DGPs. I don't equip any DGPs after this because I cannot be freaking bothered. But that is pretty much it for today's episode. We go on to the next area, and we leave Gilmon and Takaro behind. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did, and until next time, this has been Main Man Action signing up. Peace.